Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakudash. Yahweh being the true powerful name of the Heavenly Father, which means He is. Yahushai being the true name of His only begotten Son, which means He saves. The one of people in this world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Wakab means holy, Kodash means spirit. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, along with the bishops, regional heads, and elders who rule well, and citations of much love. The rest of you, sincere Akim, pushing the word in truth and sincerity. This is the cleric Azar coming at you with another lesson. And I'm going to get right into it through the spirit of Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai. Okay. I'm going to be telling this lesson. You need to study Operation Ajax. And basically, this is something that was declassified by the CIA back in 2017. And let me go into some things that I've researched. I got 2 books here in my personal library that talks about it, but there's plenty of videos you can find online, as well as YouTube, Netflix, and even Amazon. And some of the ones on Amazon you even got to pay for. I may check it out myself. It's kind of interesting how a certain country could be named, and in the news now, and it's already been it's been taking years to basically be villainized, or put in a negative light, I should say. I don't want to sit here and be creating words here. But anyway, this happened back in 1953, and here we are 70 years later. Okay, so let me let you know here. In my book, A People's History of the United States, 1492 to present, the author Howard Zinn writes, in Iran in 1953, the Central Intelligence Agency, better known as the CIA, succeeded in overthrowing a government which nationalized the oil industry. Okay, now this particular person, I'm gonna go into it, but I got another book I want to go into. It just shows you how, and you can see this in the movie Quantum Solace. And I should have brought that out too. I brought it out before, how what the government could do is they can actually get out one leader and set up their own puppet leader. Okay, and this is what they did back in 1953. Okay, so in the book, it's a national bestseller, Lies My Teacher Told Me, Everything Your American History Textbook Got Wrong, written by James W. Lowen. He goes into this on page 221. I'm going to read certain experts on it, okay? Starting on page 220 to be exact. Having ignored why the federal government acts as it does, textbooks proceed to ignore much of what the government does. Textbook authors portray the U.S. government's actions as agreeable and nice, even when U.S. government officials have admitted motives and intentions of a quite different nature. Among the less savory examples are various attempts by U.S. officials and agencies to assassinate leaders or bring down governments of other countries. Okay, skipping forward here. I surveyed the 12 textbooks to see how they treated 6 more recent U.S. attempts to subvert foreign governments. To ensure that the events were adequately covered in the historical literature, I examined only incidents that occurred before 1973, well before any of these textbooks went to press. So number 1 on this list is the episode of the U.S. assistance to the Shah's faction in Iran in disposing Prime Minister Mossadegh and returning the Shah to the throne in 1953. All right. Skipping on ahead down here. In 1990, Warren Cohen resigned from the historical committee that he headed at the State Department to protest the government's deletion from its official history of the U.S. foreign relations of all mention of the CIA coup that put Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi in power in Iran in 1953. Okay. Now, 8 of the 12 textbooks I reviewed would side with the U.S. government against Cohen. They too say nothing about our overthrow of Mossadegh. The American pageant in Life and Liberty stand out with far and away the most accurate accounts. Here's the paragraph from Life and Liberty. The United States had been a long-time friend of the ruler of Iran, Shah Reza Pahlavi. In fact, the United States had helped him to his throne by overthrowing a democratically elected government in 1953, which the United States felt was too leftist. Okay, America supplied the Shah with large numbers of arms and also trained the Shah's army and police. Unfortunately, the Shah used the army and police to form a police state. Okay. Triumph of the American Nation and Land of the Promise mention that the United States deposed Mossadegh by justify the act as anti-communist. In the words of promise, in 1953, a communist-backed political party seized control of the government and attempted to assert control over Iran's oil resources. This will not do. Mossadegh himself had led the drive to expel the Soviets from northern Iran after World War II, and his party did not seize control any more than parties do in other parliamentary democracies such as Canada or Great Britain. Democracies such as Canada or Great Britain. Indeed, the Shah himself had appointed Mossadegh prime minister because of his immense popularity in parliament and among the people. The other 8 textbooks say nothing about our government's actions in pre-revolutionary Iran. The only specific U.S. action in Iran that a history of the Republic reports, for example, is our assistance in ours, U.S. All right. The United States assistance in wiping out malaria. When these textbooks authors later described the successful attempt in 1979 by the people of Iran to overthrow the Shah, their accounts cannot explain why Iranians might be so upset with the United States. So this is why you get these those sayings about the great Satan and things of that sort. And when you look up Satan, it's an adversary. Okay, and this is why they're saying these things about this country, this nation known as Babylon the Great. Okay, but there's really no, it's America, but according to the scriptures, it's Babylon the Great. Okay, of the 12 textbooks, only Life and Liberty and the American Pageant explain the Shah's unpopularity as a ruler imposed from without, and America's unpopularity owing to our identification with the Shah and his policies. Thus, only 2 books give students a basis for understanding why Iranians held American hostages for more than a year during the Carter administration. Okay, so, but you got to study this. I'm not sure how I came across this. I think what I was doing was I was going back into some of my books, and I was just going into the index and looking up Iran, and this Operation Ajax had pulled up, and but when you look up Operation Ajax, there's some different videos you can find here, and there's a whole lot that go into different documentaries about it, how this particular coup was successful by the CIA and the British government. Okay, even here in this, you can go to the channel World History, and on YouTube, it's called Weird History, and it says right here, even in the summary, it says, for decades, knowledge of America's role in the 1953 Iran coup, which led to the ejection of the country's democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh and the installation of a despotic Shah, was fragmented and vague. However, when CIA documents were declassified in 2000 about what it called Operation Ajax, it became clear American and British agents played a central role in the Iran coup d'etat. Okay, and this, I want to say, let me see, Operation Ajax has its own Wikipedia page. I won't be surprised if it did. Yeah, you can go to Wikipedia and they have Operation Ajax. But wow, this is pretty long. It's very interesting, and some of these documentaries even go into the fact that they demonize this Mohammad Mossadegh. They even told the people of Iran that this guy was a small hat. Okay, you don't know what a small hat is, you know. You just got to be careful with the language that we're being using in this current climate right now. So if you are pretty new to the channel or you're a beginner, you better go back and learn what a small hat is. Okay, all right. These imposters that are playing this little game over here in the Middle East currently. Okay, well, yeah, this is interesting. But they and you can imagine what that did to the country when they thought that this person was a small hat, right? So there's also even a graphic novel, and this may be the part of the cover of it that I got this from. Operation Ajax, a story of the CIA coup that remade the Middle East. Okay, so this is, you wonder why, these certain things are happening over there. It's because little stuff like this, all right, when you got underhanded dealings and so forth, this is what happens as a result. Okay, let me go into a really good scripture. Bear with me just a moment. I thought I had it queued up here. Slovakia here. I'll get it. Bear with me just a moment here. This is considered an unrighteous deal, you know. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, let's go Ecclesiasticus or Sirach. We're going to go into the 10th chapter and read verse 8. All right, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So, hey, just like, hey, this particular ruler was ousted, another one was placed in, and when the kingdom of heaven is established, hey, there's going to be kings that are going to be ousted too. Okay, and it's described in the end of the book of Psalms. Let me get that real quick. And it's through the Spirit. Here we go. Let's do Psalms 149. We're going to read verse 7, points from verse 8. All right. Psalms 149, verse 7. To execute vengeance upon the heathen. We already know the heathen is other nations outside of Israel. And punishments upon the people. To bind their kings, all right? To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. Okay, so just as the nation of Israel, specifically, a lot of the southern kingdom Israelites, the Benjamites, Levites, and Judites, okay, were given fetters of iron. Hey, these fetters of iron are going to be placed on the current rulers of today, the rulers of this world. All right. So, but I just wanted to fill out that particular topic. If anyone has any information on that, feel free to leave it in the comment section. But go ahead and do your own research yourself. Okay, I didn't make this image myself, but look up Operation Ajax. Okay, all right, and how the U.S. government and the British government ousted this particular leader and put in their own leader. Okay, this is the kind of world we're dealing with. Okay, and this is when you look at the layers of what has happened over the years. You know, this goes back 70 years, and look what's happening now. Okay, but I'm gonna end it on that. I just wanted to provide that little 2 cent there. Hopefully, somebody can maybe. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of information on that alone. Okay. And I just wanted to share it. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.